This is second Ezra 15 and 11. But I will bring them with a mighty hand and stretched out arm and smite Egypt with plagues as before and will destroy all the land thereof. Like to start off by saying Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Kol Haloim La Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachakodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. Blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect that scattered abroad. The Hakim and the Aquat that's listening in. Yahweh Ratazar, Lord willing that the lesson is edifying. It's the brother Shawab Mawan back at you with another lesson. And inspiration comes from this. Inspiration always comes from Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh Shah first and foremost. But it came from Instagram. Ran into this video. All right, let me bring it up. I played and then I grabbed some scriptures.
No power. The grid is out for mid-city from San Vicente down to Venice. Something is going on.
Look at that traffic going that way. There's a power outage in the community. I'm in Cameo Woods, resident 3601. Yeah, all of the lights in the community are out right now. You can tell everybody's coming outside their house slowly.
No power. The grid is out.
We got a little
mid-city
brighter
from San Vicente down to Venice. No power. The grid is out for mid-city from San Vicente down to Venice. Something is going on.
Look at that traffic going that way. There's a power outage in the community. I'm in Cameo Woods, resident 3601. Yeah, all of the lights in the community are out right now. You can tell everybody's coming outside their house slowly.
No power.
And what's crazy is that where I'm from in Lakewood, where all the small hat penguins are, right? They actually been getting smacked left and right with a whole bunch of power outages also. All right. And that just goes to show you what's about to come to this place, man. That's all signs of Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh Shai. All right. Letting you know this place is about to go down. All right. And one of the ways that this place is going to get smacked is going to be by the way of a cyber attack. All right. And all the lights are going to cut off. And we've been saying that for years. All right. And that's very well still in play. See, that's going to be one of the next things that's going to come about. All right. They're going to just cut off the lights, hit you with a cyber attack, because that's going to be a certain tactic to be able to reset, bank accounts, have people go into more frenzy, wake up the next morning, they ain't got no money in their bank accounts because these devils going to tell you got cyber attacked, and hacked into the system, and that's basically getting smacked like that, like in the ancient times. All right. The plagues of Egypt, one of them, all right, was when Moses, brought darkness, when ultimately Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai brought darkness upon the land through Moses. All right. And I want to read second Ezra's. All right. This is second Ezra's 15, and I'll take it back to where I started. All right. I'll take it from 10. It says, behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter. I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt. All right. And this Egypt that is being spoken of is speaking of America, because spiritually we are Sodom and Egypt. All right. It says, but I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm and smite Egypt with plagues as before. You see, this is how we know that it's speaking of America, because there was only one Egypt, right? And it's saying that it's gonna that smite Egypt with plagues as before, like it was in the old times, in the ancient times. and will destroy all the land thereof. Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with a plague and punishment that Yahweh shall bring upon it. All right. And again, one of the plagues that was brought upon Egypt, okay, which is in Exodus. Let me grab that real quick. This is Exodus 10, and let me grab it from, give me 1 second. Phone acting retarded. Let me grab it from, bear with me. I'm just trying to see where I want to grab it from. I guess I'll grab it from 20. Yeah, I'll grab it from 21. All right, and it says darkness over the land. I was trying to see if I could grab it up a little bit. Matter of fact, let me grab it up from a little bit from up. Let me grab it from 12. Exodus 10 and 12. And it says, and the Lord Yahweh said unto Moses, stretch out thine hand over the land of Egypt for the locusts, that they may come upon the land of Egypt and eat every herb of the land, even all that the hell has left. All right. And, you know, that's actually something that you see to this day. You know, there'll be certain parts of the country, right, where, you know, you'll have a whole bunch of locusts that'll literally take over, and they'll come by the thousands, literally, you know, and they'll eat the crops and destroy crops. You know, you'll have like every certain amount of years, you have them cicada bugs that come up, you know, those are all plagues of the ancient times, you know, coming back in different forms. Right. So it says, and Moses stretched forth his rod over the land of Egypt, and the Lord Yahweh brought an east wind upon the land all that day and all that night. And when it was morning, the east wind brought the locusts, and the locusts went up over all the land of Egypt and rested in all the coast of Egypt. Very grievous were they. Before them there was no such locusts as they, neither after them shall be such. All right. And to be honest with you, man, the Lord gonna bring all these same plagues that he brought to Egypt. All right, he gonna bring the same plagues back in these times, man, spiritually. You see, and you see certain plagues that are, you know, coming about. All right, and best believe one of them is going to be taking your firstborns. All right, the same way the Lord was taking the firstborns of the Egyptians. All right, when the Lord cut the lights out, all right, on this side, by the way of that cyber attack, a lot of firstborns are going to be taken, all right, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, by the way of death. All right, because when them lights cut off out here, it's going to be the purge out here for sure. You see, and best believe a lot of firstborns are going to go. All right, so it says, and the locusts went up over all the land of Egypt and rested in all the coast, and very grievous were they. Before them there were no such locusts as they, neither after them shall be such. 15. For they covered the face of the whole earth, so that the land was darkened, and they did eat every herb of the land and all the fruit of the trees which the hail had left, and there remained not any green thing in the trees or in the herbs of the field through all the land of Egypt. Then Pharaoh called for Moses and Aaron in haste, And he said, I have sinned against the Lord Yahweh, your power, and against you. Now therefore forgive, I pray thee, my sin only this once, and entreat the Lord Yahweh, your power, that he may take away from me this death only. And he went out from Pharaoh and entreated the Lord Yahweh, and the Lord Yahweh turned a mighty strong west wind, which took away the locusts and cast them in the Red Sea. There remained not one locust in all the coast of Egypt. But the Lord Yahweh hardeneth Pharaoh's heart, so that he would not let the children of Israel go. All right. And that's pretty much what the Lord doing with the pharaohs of this time, man. The pharaohs of America, the Pharaoh of America today. Okay. Here it is, spiritually, the Lord, is telling them, the Pharaoh of this world, to leave his people alone. But see, he continues to harden his heart. All right. As a matter of fact, let me grab that real quick in Romans 9. All right. Which, the modern day Pharaoh today will be Esau, Edom. All right. The devil that the Bible speaks of. All right. This is Romans 9. And this is 15. I'll take it from 13. It says, as it is written, Jacob have I loved and Esau have I hated. What shall we say then? Is there unrighteousness with Yahweh? Yahweh forbid. For he saith to Moses, I will have mercy on whom I will have mercy, and I will have compassion on whom I have compassion. So then it is not of him that willeth, nor of him that runneth, but of Yahweh that showeth mercy. For the scripture saith unto Pharaoh, even for the same purpose have I raised thee up, that I might show my power in thee, and that my name might be declared throughout all the earth. Therefore has he mercy on whom he will have mercy, in whom he hardeneth. Thou wilt say then unto me, why does he yet find fault? For who has resisted his will? Nay, but O man, who art thou that repliest against Yahweh? Shall the thing formed say to him that formed it, why hast thou made me thus? Has not the potter power over the clay of the same lump to make one vessel unto honor and another unto dishonor? What if Yahweh wanted to show his wrath and to make his power known, endured with much long suffering the vessels of wrath fitted to destruction? You see, and that's going into Esau, Edom, all right, because he has made one vessel onto honor and one vessel onto dishonor. All right, the one that's the vessel of honor is Jacob. All right, the 12 tribes, the nation of Israel. All right, the one that was made onto dishonor was Esau, Edom. Okay, so the Lord literally created him just to destroy him, you see. And this is why, this devil has that perpetual hatred to this day. All right, because the Lord constantly hardens his heart, you see, and his wickedness is not altogether wiped away. His rust is always going to remain, you see. So going back to Exodus 10, all right, and 21, and it says, and the Lord Yahweh said unto Moses, stretch out thine hand toward heaven, that there may be darkness over the land of Egypt, even darkness which may be felt. Okay, and that's what's going to happen in these last days, man. That cyber attack going to come, and all the lights is going to be cut off out here, and it's going to be a certain type of darkness where it's literally going to be felt, and you're going to feel the wickedness of that darkness, man. That's when the Lord's going to raise up vivid apparitions. You see, when you read, I believe it's Wisdom of Solomon, the 13th chapter. All right, it speaks about how the Lord bugged out all the Egyptians in those days, man. You see, because the Egyptians were into heavy witchcraft and sorceries, man. But here was that the Lord bugged them out with vivid apparitions. All right, with vexation of the spirit through monstrous apparitions. Okay, that's going to happen in these days again through the spirit. Okay, the Lord going to have demons out here on demon time for real. Like you're going to see vivid apparitions is literally ghosts. All right, but we know them to be demons. So The Lord gonna have a lot of demons, bugged out demons, things that you ain't never seen happen in that darkness, on top of, you know, pretty much this place breaking out into a purge like scenario. All right. It's just gonna be free game for a lot of these Edomites, man. Cause they drink the cup of violence, basically, as the scriptures say. All right. And that's what they love to do. So, you know, on top of that, you don't have 2/3 out here bugging out also. All right. But again, you know, that darkness is going to be brought upon the land. All right. It says, and Moses stretched forth his hand toward heaven, and there was a thick darkness in all the land of Egypt 3 days. They saw not one another, neither rose any from this place for 3 days. But all the children of Israel had light in their dwellings. You see, so, and that's what's going to happen with the elect in these days, man. The elect is going to have light. Okay, having this truth is their true light at the end of the day. All right, let me grab that. This is Psalms 119 and 105, and it says, the word is a lamp unto my feet and a light onto my path. You see, so us having this word, man, is going to be the true light in that darkness when that time comes. You see, knowledge and wisdom is going to be the stability of that time, because we're going to have understanding. All right, when the Lord cuts the lights out in this place, man, why it's being cut out. All right, because it's really for judgment against Egypt, man. All right, so, you know, we're not going to worry these things, because we're going to have total faith in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. All right. But just as, you know, Egypt was hit with darkness for 3 days. All right. Same thing is going to happen here in America. Now, I'm not saying it's going to be 3 days, but, you know, it's going to be 3 represents understanding. You see, so we understand that when them lights get cut out is because it's those plagues of Egypt being brought back as before. You see, and we're going to understand that it's going to be, you know, whatever the Lord wants. You know, it might be 2 weeks, 3 weeks, it might be a month, might be a year, might be a day. You know, at the end of the day, all right, when that time comes, all right, it's going to be of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. All right, even if it's Esau that cuts these lights, that's Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai putting the spirit on Esau to do it. Okay, so, you know, darkness is going to cover the land at the end of the day. All right, and it's going to be very well deserved, because these people love darkness. That's why this place is called, you know, the shadow of death, the shadow of darkness. I believe it's in Job. Matter of fact, let me grab that. This is Job 10 and 22, 10 and 22. It says, a land of darkness as darkness itself, and of the shadow of death without any order, and where the light is as darkness. Yeah, you see, so America, okay, Babylon the Great is a land of darkness, man, the shadow of death, you see, and it's without any order. You see, this is why the Lord's going to destroy this place, because it has no order. All right, the kings of this world, the pharaohs of this world, all right, they don't govern in the right manner. So there's no order here. You see, everything is out of order, to the point where wickedness, all right, has exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and everything that is, you know, righteous is made wicked. Okay, and whatever's wicked is made righteous. Okay, let's grab this in Isaiah. All right, this is Isaiah 60 and 2. It says, for behold, the darkness shall cover the earth, and gross darkness the people, but the Lord Yahweh shall arise upon thee, and his glory shall be seen upon thee. All right, why? Because we're gonna have that light, you see, because this is why it's important to have this truth. All right, as a matter of fact, when you go to Matthew, all right, Matthew the 6th chapter, it speaks about your whole body being filled with light. All right, meaning what? Having his word. It really means being into this word and being active in his truth and being focused in his truth. All right. But remember, the Lord said that we are the light of the world. All right, and having his word, having his truth, all right, is the light of the word of the world. Okay, so let me just grab that real quick in Matthew. This is Matthew 6 and 22. It says, the light of the body is the eye. If therefore thine eye be single, all right, meaning what? Focused, the whole body shall be full of light. You see? So if you stay focused without distraction onto the Lord, man, the Lord's going to fill you up with the light, okay? The light of this knowledge. It says, for if thine eye be evil, the whole body shall be full of darkness. If therefore the light is that is in thee be darkness, how great is that darkness? You see? And what happens is that darkness is great because you get casted into outer darkness. All right. As we just read in Isaiah the 60th chapter, okay, the 62nd 60 and verse 2, it said what? All right, that the whole earth shall be covered in darkness, gross darkness, the people, the ignorance, man, because they're ignorant to the word of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, so they have no light in them. You see, and ultimately, because like it tells you in John, all right, let's grab that, John 1 and 5. All right, it says, and the light shineth in darkness, and the darkness comprehended it not. Okay, which it was speaking about Yahweh Shai. All right, because when you go up one, it says, in him was life, and the life was the light of men. You see, and it was speaking of Yahweh Shai. And then it says, and the light shineth in darkness, and the darkness comprehended it not. You see, so this is why 2/3 of our people are going to be in gross darkness, being ignorant to the word of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. All right, because there is no light in them. You see, they're not focused on Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. They're focused on the things of this world. So being focused on the things of this world casts them down to outer darkness. Okay. As a matter of fact, let me grab this. This is Second Thessalonian. Actually, First Thessalonians, Salakia. First Thessalonians 5 and I'll take it from 4. It says, but ye brethren are not in darkness, that day should overtake you as a thief. Ye are all the children of light and the children of the day, and we are not of the night nor of the darkness. Therefore let us not sleep as do others, but let us watch and be sober. For they that sleep, sleep in the night, and they that be drunken are drunken in the night. But let us who are of the day be sober, putting on the breastplate of faith and love, and for an helmet the hope of salvation. You see, for Yahweh has not appointed us to wrath, but to obtain salvation by our Lord Yahweh Shai HaMashiach, who died for us, that whether we wake or sleep, we should live together with him. Wherefore comfort yourselves together and edify one another, even as also you do. You see? So we are the children of the light, man. All right. So we have to walk in that light, having his word, having his knowledge, okay? Having the faith in Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. And when these things come upon the earth, all right, these plagues of darkness, okay, we're not worried about it. We're not going to be fearing it because we weren't given the spirit of fear. We were given the spirit of love and of a sound mind, you see? And we know that Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai is there to protect us, man. The name of the Lord is a strong tower and the righteous man runneth to it and is safe. Okay, Proverbs 18 and 10. You see? Let me see what else I could grab. All right, this is, give me 1 second. This is Amos 5 and 18. It says, woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord, Yahweh. To what end is it for you? The day of the Lord is darkness and not light. Okay. It says, matter of fact, let me select it. It says, and not light, as if a man did flee from a lion, and a bear met him and went into the house and leaned his hand on the wall, and a serpent bit him. Shall not the day of the Lord Yahweh be darkness and not light, even very dark and no brightness in it? You see? So, you know, people want, here you got people that, you know, especially these false prophets, these Christians, these different religions. See, they're all waiting for their savior to come and save them, man, which they don't understand scriptures, man. You see, they're waiting for their power to come save them, which is not the true power. And they desire the day of the Lord. But see, the day that they desire is a day of peace, a day of you know, butterflies and cotton candy swirls, man. You see, but the true power, all right, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, his day is going to be complete darkness out here, man. All right, because of the destruction that he's going to bring upon this place. All right, especially with what? Thermonuclear missiles at the end of the day. All right, but again, you know, we're going to enter into Jacob's trouble, which is going to be a dark time, you know, which we're in those dark times now, man. All right, you can see the dark times forming. That's going back to what we read in Isaiah the 60th chapter. You see, that darkness shall cover the whole land. As a matter of fact, let's see when you go into that. What does it say for darkness there? All right. It says darkness shall cover the earth. Right. It says, Strong's definition says misery, destruction, death, ignorance, sorrow, wickedness. You see? So who out there really desiring the day of the Lord? Only the elect is really desiring that day, because we want to get up out of here. See, but these people have a certain perception of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. You see, they think that he's all about peace and love. All right. And it tells you that, you know, in Jeremiah, the 30th chapter, man, that, let's grab it real quick. Jeremiah 30 and 4. It says, and these are the words that the Lord Yahweh spake concerning Israel. It says, and Judah, concerning Judah. For thus saith the Lord Yahweh, we have heard a voice of trembling, of fear, and not of peace. You see? And these people desire peace. That's what they're thinking in their head when they desire the day of the Lord. You see? But we don't desire those things, because we know that the Lord not coming with peace, man. Scriptures say that. He said in Matthew, what is that? Matthew 10. All right. He said, think not that I come to bring peace upon earth. All right. I come not to bring peace, but a sword. You see? Causing what? Bringing a sword does what? It cuts. All right. A sword does, it cuts something and divides it. So he's coming to bring division upon this place, separating the sheep from the goats. All right. The true believers, the elect from the rest of the world that's wicked. You see? So, let me grab one more, two more, and then I close it out. All right. Again, man, darkness is gonna take over this whole entire earth. All right. And the main way it's gonna happen is just like the plagues of Egypt. All right. And it's gonna come by the way of a cyber attack through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. All right. This is Isaiah 9 and 2. It says, the people that walked in darkness have seen a great light. They that dwell in the land of the shadow of death, upon them has the light shined. You see, and that's us, the elect. You see, we were once walking in that great darkness also. You see, we were once like the rest of these 2/3, these dry bones, right? The valley of the dry bones that had no breath in them. You see, but through the spirit and grace of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, we were able, all right, to see the light, understand the light, and receive the light. So we're no longer walking in that darkness, you see, but we still dwell in that land of the shadow of death, which is America. All right. And this is why we need deliverance. All right. This is why we hasten it on to the coming of the Lord, man, because this place is so wicked. All right. According to what? Isaiah 5:20. Let's grab that real quick. All right. This is Isaiah 5:20. And it says, woe unto them that call evil good and good evil, that put darkness for light and light for darkness, that put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter. You see, because everything here is backwards, going back to what we read in Job 10:20, man. This is a land of darkness, a place of no order. Okay. And this is why this place is so dark. All right. And eventually the Lord's going to cover the whole entire earth with darkness. All right. With destruction, pestilence, evil. Okay. To be able to destroy those that are necessary, are worthy of death, basically. All right. Yeah, that's pretty much the point. This is I'll read it with yeah, let me grab this one and I pretty much ended it that. Matter of fact, hold on, give me 1 second. All right, I'll grab this and then I'll end it with another precept. This is Luke 11:35. It says, take heed therefore that the light which is in thee be not darkness. All right. Having this truth is that light that you have, man. Don't let that light be put out. Don't let that light switch get turned off and it become darkness, because that's what's going to happen. You're going to be casted into outer darkness. Okay. Let's grab this and I'll end it with that. This is Romans. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is perfect. This is Romans. Let me see. One more. Hold on. Yeah, this is Romans 13:11. And it says, and that knowing the time, that now it is high time to awake out of sleep, for now is our salvation nearer than we believed. The night is far spent, the day is at hand. Let us therefore cast off the works of darkness and let us put on the armor of light. Let us walk honestly as in the day, not in rioting and drunkenness, not in chambering and wantonness, not in strife and envying, but put ye on the Lord Yahweh Shai Hamashiach, and make not provision for the flesh to fulfill the lust thereof. You see? So we have to walk in this light, man. Stay focused in this light. And if thy light, and if thy eye be single, right? Meaning what? Focus into this word without distraction, all right? Your whole body is going to be filled with light in that time of darkness, you see? And you're going to be able to walk in the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai in that land of darkness, man. You're not going to be afraid of anything, you see? Because you have a sound mind, all right? So, hey, with that being said, Lord willing, you were edified. Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Kol Haloyim La Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Barakat Kodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. Blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect that scattered abroad. the Akim and the Aquat that was listening in. Yahweh Ratazah, Lord willing, that the lesson was edifying. To the next one, Shalom. Keep fighting the good fight of faith and doing as good soldiers of Yahweh Shai. Shalom.